Podcast City Network. The Everett Lee Show.
Welcome, everyone, to the Everett Lee Show. I'm the Everett Lee. I want to give a shout out to everyone that follows me on social media, Facebook, Everett Lee Show, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Everett Lee, and, of course, Podcast City Network, your official host of the Everett Lee Show. I have a great podcast here tonight, here on this Tuesday night on Podbeam live stream. So I want to give a shout out to everyone that's downloaded the Podbeam app and download it on your mobile device. And you're tuning in, you can interact, or if you're on a PC, laptop, whatever you like, you can listen to the show. But you get that app, you'll be able to jump in, ask questions, and interact with my guest tonight and my co-host. So let's get things rolling. Joining me from the Deathmatch Russell podcast is none other than Mr. David C. Russell. What's up?
Hello, Everett Lee of the Everett Lee Show. And how you doing tonight? Are you ready for a fun-filled show?
Oh, yeah, we definitely are. As I'm talking right now, I am posting all over social media.
I think it's time to go to church. What do you think?
You want to go to church?
Time to go to church.
Let me get an amen on that.
Amen. Amen.
Amen. Because tonight, here on the Everett Lee Show, we have none other than the Reverend Ronnie Roberts. How you doing there?
Yay, man. Somehow I gave a yay, man, before I even got here. That's pretty impressive, Mr. Everett Lee.
It is. I sound clipped you on my soundboard I have up here, Reverend.
Oh, that's all right, but hey, ain't nothing like hearing it live. So I'll give you a yay, man.
Amen. Amen. And Reverend, I want to address the elephant in the room about when you were on Deathmatch Wrestle podcast last week about me not being on there. I'll tell you why I was not on there. I
heard why.
You did. What did you hear through the grapevine?
But what I heard was that you were taking a nap. And nothing worse than the preacher being up preaching the good word and it looks out and somebody is asleep in the congregation. Nothing worse. Especially when it's time to take an offering. Wake up.
I admit that I did fall asleep. I know David did try to wake me up because I got home and I wanted to watch the Book of Fett, the final episode. So I got to watch that last episode and I dozed off. And then David was like, I was waiting for you. And I looked and he called me twice. He called me during the podcast. I was like, man, I should have heard that, but I was napping. And then afterwards he called me again and he said, Reverend was asking for you. And he's shaking his head. Ribbed. I got ribbed.
It's asking, and normally, you knock and the door will be open, asking you shall receive. But I did not receive anything that night. But showing the character and the man that you are, you reached out to me, and here I sit right here, right now, at this moment on the Everett Lee Show.
Yes, I needed to make it up to you, and what other way than to get you on my show and talk about a lot of things tonight, which we'll have, and David's going to be joining us right here on this podcast. Amen. Let's get an amen up on the soundboard here.
Amen. I need me one of those soundboards, man. I got all kinds of sounds out of you.
Oh, wait till you get going here.
Oh, look, spoiler alert, huh? All right, I'm in for a treat tonight. All right. Well, you got all kinds of questions and topics. Well, what you got? Because I'm sure I have all kinds of answers.
Well, okay. Let me get. Okay. Oh, go ahead, Everett. You're the host. Go.
I'm the host. Okay. Well, what?
How was your weekend? How's your week?
There you go. How? All
start.
right, David. Good question.
was
How
my
was your
week?
weekend, Reverend? How was your
My
weekend this weekend?
weekend not as busy as it should have been. Unfortunately, I had an engagement Saturday that got canceled because the promoter had some health issues.
Oh,
Um, Other than that, my weekend usually starts on Thursday, OVW TV. I went out there, wrestled the Rush Division champion. I was having my way with him until he kind of kicked me low. Referee didn't see it. It is what it is. I'd love to be angry with him, but you got to do what you got to do to get to the pay window to get that winner's purse. So I understand, but I owe him. And the rest of the weekend, I kind of chilled on Friday, Sunday, as you all may have heard on the Deathmatch Russell podcast. I am the head trainer at Grindhouse Pro Wrestling
Yes.
Academy, and I hold service every Sunday morning uh, with my students, and we had an outstanding session.
Mhm.
nice, fantastic. That's
Ronnie, I wanted to tell you, did you see what I sent you? I sent you a Billy Starks on a Sam Roberts podcast.
You
I
did.
thought
I
that,
did see that. I've seen it all over the place on
yeah,
social
yeah.
media. Actually, I'm super proud of that kid. I've had some. I got to teach and train her just a little bit. I didn't have her from the beginning. I just kind of felt like I just helped her. Helped her just
Push.
add some more layers. I'll never take
right.
credit for her work. She works her
No,
tail
no.
off.
Yeah.
Big shout out to the Big Starks brand. I almost put that T-shirt on. Actually, I got this big hoodie on.
Mhm.
But yeah, I am going to take a listen to that once I get the chance for sure. I'm very interested in what she has to say and what
Yeah.
old Sam Roberts has to say.
Yeah. Sam Roberts. I used to listen to him a lot back when I followed WWE heavily. I used to work graveyard shift at Sam's Club, and I used to overnights put the headphones on and listen to some podcasts while I did my work. And he was one of the podcasts I'd listen to through the night there, and I just loved the interviews. He'd have people come on and stuff, and I'm just like really amazed that he got Billy Stark on there, because she is all over the place, and she
All over.
she this past weekend, me and David got to see her wrestle at what was it? Was it Game Changer Wrestling? Because I've watched so
Yeah,
much wrestling.
Game Changer and JCW, and just they had a weekend down where I am at the shore,
Yeah, yeah.
casino.
Yeah, yeah. It was this weekend. I'll tell you, Reverend. I watched so much wrestling this weekend. I tapped out because it was so
Wow.
much. There was so much going on. I watched Friday Freelance Underground on IWTV. Me and
Right.
David hooked up here, and we watched that together, and we enjoyed that. They put on a heck of a show there. They had a pretty good house.
It was I think it was
Yeah.
Craig Mitchell, and a whole bunch of other people as well that were
Okay. Okay. I
it's
know
pretty
those
good
guys
stuff.
usually put on a good show. There's
Mhm.
so
Mhm.
much good wrestling out there. There's some bad too, but so much good
Mhm.
wrestling out there. It is a fantastic time to be a wrestling fan and a fantastic time to be a wrestler.
Yeah, it is. It definitely is. And then Saturday, I watched Black Label Pro out of Indiana. There, those
Yeah.
guys, man, this is the first time I've actually watched Black Label Pro. I've seen them on social media. I've seen them on Facebook. I've seen
Yeah.
them all over the place on social media, but I've never actually really watched their programming until Saturday evening. I sat down and I watched them, and it was great. They had some talent from AEW on there. They had Sky Blue. She wrestled against Anthony Green. That
Yeah.
was a pretty good match there. It was just how they worked in the ring. They worked really well together, and they didn't do nothing too crazy, and they told a pretty good story in the ring. And
That's what it's
the
all about.
it is just a good story. They were good dance partners. They gelled together really well, which I loved.
And last night I showed Everett and I were watching we watched Haley J on
Yes.
Oh,
AEW Dark.
Hollywood Haley J, my
Yes.
kid. Now that's
Yes.
my kid. I can
Yes.
claim her fully.
Man,
Might help
She
some of
did
the
good.
haters out there who be on her backside. Yes, it is me.
Yes.
I created that monster.
she
Yeah,
did good going up against Ruby Soho, man. I'll tell you what, that girl can sell. That girl can sell, and her timing and her footing was exact because the match flowed so good into each move that was happening because yeah, she's good, man. I like to see some more out of her. I like to see her come back to AEW and do some more AEW elevation and dark matches because she has the talent, man. She does. You did great. You did amazing with her. You did.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it, but
that's why she's works hard at OVW. That's why she works at
she
OVW.
she
Yeah.
does, and it's one of those things, man. She listened and she's hard headed, so some lessons she has to learn just by doing. I see. Sorry, let me a little disclaimer. I got my family in the background, so I just saw a random hand. So if you see a kid or something, my old lady's back there
Don't
too.
worry.
So
He has a dog that barks all day.
Yeah,
Oh, okay. Well,
I got my silent co-host here, Reverend. I have he hangs out with me next door
okay.
when the neighbors are coming in and out of their house there. He decides he likes to bark.
Nah, I got you. Well, he's just doing his job. He's just letting you know, hey, settle down. We're doing a podcast in here. I don't blame him. He's doing his job.
Yeah.
But just get back to HJ, to Haley J.
Mm-hmm.
She's coming along, and if you think you liked what you see now, just wait 1 or 2 more years, because she's still growing, she's still learning. She's only been wrestling for about 2 years now. Um, she she is going to be really, really good, really good.
She is. She is. That was actually the first time I get to see her wrestle there, and I wasn't aware with OVW because I when I watched that 6-man tag match, of yours, which we'll get into here in a moment,
Hmm.
the production, excuse me, of because I'm like lost for words here with OVW. OVW, I remember watching it back years ago in the early 2000s when it used to be the training ground. That was NXT for WWE because anyone that
Right.
got signed went straight to OVW and they spent time there, developed their character. I mean, a lot of
I'd
people.
actually after independent wrestling shows, I would actually go up to the video counter, the merch booth, and they would have OVW DVDs for sale. So I would pick them up to see
Really?
who was out there. Yeah,
All right.
No way, David.
yeah. Right, Ronnie. They would, the DVDs were popular for OVW
For a little
for a
while they
while.
were. I mean, the
Mhm.
OVW still holds that name, that weight that
Yeah,
it had even today. People think OVW, they think Brock Lesnar and John Cena and Randy
yeah.
Orton and Shelton Benjamin. All even the
No,
name
no.
goes on. CM Punk's been through there. You
Mhm.
got your Heyman was there, your Cornette was there, Al Snow was there training, and now
Candido was
he's
there.
running the whole deal. Okay, man, there's so many names. So OVW still holds that name, and now you got guys like me and the other guys there banging our heads on the TV show and doing our thing too, trying to uphold the tradition. But you were mentioning the production. What
Yes.
about the production?
The production is great because compared to what I saw and watched back in the early 2000s, like you mentioned there with the Brock Lesnar, Shelton Benjamins, John Cena's, Randy Orton, watching how the production was with the footage back then compared to now, I love the production value of how it's shot in the high def, the
Hmm.
it's almost like 4K. Is it 4K or is it because
Yeah.
When they upload stuff on the internet, it likes to drop the the footage down some. If you throw something up in 1080p, it likes to drop
Uh-huh.
it down on YouTube to 720.
Right. Right. Well, you can control some of that stuff. I don't know what they film in. I got to be honest with you. All I know is once I see that camera on, I'm gonna make sure this mug right here is in it,
Looks
and I'm gonna do
right
my
at it.
thing. That's all I know. I don't care if you're 1080p, 1180p, 1476, A through Z. Doesn't matter to me.
Because
As long as
because you're the light's shining on you and you're sweating. You know.
Well,
That's it.
mainly because my head's
Yeah.
so shiny, the light does shine very well off my dome. It usually does. 'Cause I'm all got coconut oil up on my head and I'm ready to go.
The reason why I was mentioning that is because last year I did production for CFWE, Championship Family Wrestling Entertainment, out of Lakeland. From January of 2021 to September of 2021, I did the production. I went to the shows each month. I recorded the shows. I directed the roaming cam. I set up the hard cam. Had a monitor in the back for the boys to watch, so they didn't have to
Right.
peek around the corner. They sat back there and watched. The promoter, he would once in a while come over, look over my shoulder. Everything good? I give him a thumbs up. He's like, all right. And then he'd go back, hang out with the boys there, watch, what was going on the monitor. And I also edited and did the graphics, and I pretty much I did a lot for that promotion, and the footage shows it speaks for itself. So that's why like production eye, when I watch a promotion and I see how they do the production, and when I was watching that tag match and just the production value, I was like, wow. I was like, they've come a long way with production.
And also Grindhouse as well, Everett. We talked about that. Me and you have talked about that.
We gonna get the Grindhouse. I promise you that. No worries. But as far as OVW is concerned, I mean, it has to look good. We are on national. I just scrap that. We are on worldwide television. People see us all over the world. I mean, it would be a shame if the value was not so good, and you're out here in all these people's homes and everything, and my head wasn't shining quite as bright as it should have been. Really, it's the reflection of my halo. That's what I tell people. But I mean, the team, and here's the thing. This may sound weird, but it's only going to get better. It's only going to get better. We all have work to do to step our games up even more. And I think at our core, from the roster to productions to everybody, we feel like we deserve a spot when you start talking about Impact and Ring of Honor, or formerly Ring of Honor. I can never tell day to day if they're still around or not. We are trying to get up in that spot because I think people put us in the little brother category. Even though OVW has all that tradition, they still want a little brother, little cousin us, like they're the big brother kind of thing.
Or that other promotion, NWA.
NWA. That's what I'm saying. I don't feel like we get put in that same light. Even though some of our talent is from top to bottom, and I like to put myself in there too. Some of our talent is excellent. As far as some kind of interview segment, talk segment, I'll put mine up against anybody. Step in the ring with me with a microphone 1-on-1 and see what happens. You got guys who look the part, who sound the part, who wrestle the part. With so much talent, so we're on the come up at OVW. So get ready, be ready, because we on the come up, and it's only gonna get better.
Yeah, it does. It looks like the production wise and the talent wise and the wrestling and the commentary is right up there, man. That's what amazes me about it, because I said to myself, I knew OVW was around though, but I didn't know that you had a taped show like that. And
it's not taped, it is live.
Oh, it's live.
We are the only place other than the WWE that you can get live TV. Ain't no tape, baby. Ain't no nets.
Okay.
we don't work with nets, baby.
Okay, because I'm pretty honestly, I'm going to be upfront. I'm being upfront with you. I'm clueless on with taped or live, but that's good. I mean, you're live. Where can people see OVW? You're talking about live. Where can I watch it live?
It's on different channels in different markets. So I would say check your local listings for the most part. But one constant you can find this is on Fight TV. Fight TV, we're live every Thursday everywhere.
I watch that a lot.
Where I live, the show comes on Saturdays and Sundays. In other places, it comes on Wednesdays. In other places, Friday. I see it comes on. There's so many different times in different places. But Fight TV is the constant. And in the Louisville area, if you're listening, I believe it's Channel 21. It's on live Thursdays as well.
Tell you what, I miss having those live TV shows. Like our local wrestling back in the 90s did that all the time.
Yeah, like local promotions. Yeah, I know what you're talking about, David. Like you go on local access cable, man, and it have
Yep.
like the local wrestling and stuff. That I miss that. I miss seeing that stuff right there growing up because you see some great stuff on there, and you'd see some talent that you'd see on TV. Show up, and you're like, "Whoa, they're on this, man," and it makes you want to watch. Makes you want to watch.
Exactly. Yep,
Tune in.
I'm with you, man. David mentioned Grindhouse. That's Grindhouse.
Yes.
I wrestle and work I work for OVW, but I teach and train, and promote and book and do all the stuff at Grindhouse Pro Wrestling. And maybe we're looking into maybe one of those little TV spots you were talking about. I don't know if public access is still a thing, actually, to keep it real with you, but
No.
I know enough people might be able to pull a few strings for Grindhouse. I'm not after national exposure, but that local show you're talking about, I'm working on some things to get Grindhouse local as well, because we got some. I mean, you see Hollywood Haley J, and we've got some other talent that we have trained that are gonna make an impact here in a few years. International talent even.
Tag teams that are killing it, doing pretty good, and we're proud. We're proud of what they did because they're always on a podcast, and we're helping them get their names out there.
That's it, and I appreciate you, David.
And more,
if my guys can do nothing else, they can talk.
And more,
that's for sure.
And more to come. And more to come.
And more to come. Absolutely.
Let's keep them coming because I like the business.
Yeah, we love the business. We love wrestling. We love the talent. We love seeing a good story. Good versus evil, and you want to see the underdog come out on top. Great stories, some moments, because there's a lot of moments in wrestling. There's a lot of moments because
Ron, let me tell you this. Everett used to go to wrestling in Florida, where he is in Daytona all the time. He's in Daytona.
NXT used to come in there quite a bit back in 2014, 2015, and 2014, I believe it was. I get to see at their house show because they had a lot of talent that did the house shows that are now on the main roster. And two people in particular I met just starting out in NXT was Becky Lynch and Alexa Bliss. I got to meet them. I got to meet Alexa Bliss twice. I got to meet actually Becky twice. And they did a meet and greet before the show. And I went up there and took a picture of Becky and I said, thank you. And I was like, you guys are amazing. And she was like so humble about it. She was like, really like, thank you, for coming and supporting us. And that, that's all it's about, man. And it's neat seeing how much where she's at now. And then remember back in 2014, it's like, I remember going to house shows, seeing you, and look where you're at now, man.
Yeah.
and also, Everett, don't forget the manager, Mr. Jimmy Hart as well.
Jimmy Hart, yes. Yeah, I knew you were going to bring that up sometime during this podcast, David. The Mouth of the South, Jimmy Hart, Reverend, used to have a place here around the beach side. Jimmy Hart Hall of Fame Bar and Grill. And
I heard of that. Yeah.
I got to meet the Mouth of the South. Got to pick his brain a little bit on some stuff that had questions that lingered in my head for years, and finally got to sit down and talk with him. And during going up there watching pay-per-views and just going up there just to listen to him talk and tell stories about the business, it was great.
And also his partner, JJ McGuire. Go ahead, Everett. Ooh.
Oh yeah, JJ McGuire. I knew, David, you were going to bring this up, man, because I had a feeling you were going to bring this up. Hurricane JJ McGuire, he did a lot. He collaborated with Jimmy Hart on a lot of the WWF, WCW things.
Oh, yes. Okay. I knew the name. I was like, why do I know the name? Yes, I know what you're talking about now. Absolutely. Yes.
Yeah. Hurricane JJ McGuire. He like Shawn Michaels, Sexy Boy, Big Boss Man, Jimmy Superfly Snuka, $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase. What else? Demolition.
No.
Yeah.
Thunder in Paradise. Thunder in
Classics
Paradise.
there.
He did
Thunder
the.
in
Oh yeah,
Paradise
did he
was-
do Thunder in Paradise? Okay.
Yes,
Yes.
Okay,
yes,
yeah.
he did. He also had cameos on that show too. Yeah, because you could pretty much read it in his
Yeah.
book I have right here.
Oh, look at you. Look
Oh.
at you. Look at John. I'll tell you what, John Cosper is everywhere.
Yes.
He is.
John
Yes.
Cosper is everywhere. That man's got his finger in everything wrestling.
Yes.
Yes, he does.
Yes.
Yes, he
Chris,
Yes, he does.
yes.
Look.
No,
We got 2 books
Everett,
there.
You need to get this. You got to get this one next.
I seen that on his
yeah.
website, man. I was on eatsleepwrestle.com because you can get this on eatsleepwrestle.com. My Life in Heaventown by JJ McGuire and John Cosper. But when you
I do have that. I do have one of the.
you get a signed
memoir of
copy.
I also have the memoir of the Madman Pondo.
Yeah.
Mhm, yeah.
Yeah. Do
I
you
know
like
JJ McGuire was in Kentucky for a while.
Yeah.
He was in Southern Kentucky. I'm trying to think of what promotion. He was doing a lot of stuff with the promotion in Southern Kentucky it was a couple years ago, but I remember he was there. I never did get a chance to meet him or anything, but I would see him on social media and things that promoting him.
Well,
Yeah.
one year JJ came to Everett's local bar because
Mhm.
we were doing an anniversary of the podcast, right, Everett? And I gave it. I wasn't able to go, and I gave Everett a JJ award to give to him. It was really cool.
Yep. For
All right.
Podcast City Network, we had our first year anniversary, and he sent in a congratulations certificate for 1 year for January 26, 2019. And JJ signed it and David signed it. And I'm looking at it.
JJ was playing tunes too. I was mad, you know?
Oh yeah. Yeah. We had this band that was playing there called I can't believe I'm forgetting the name of it. They were great.
That's a terrible name of a band.
Yes. they were a reggae feel good band. The Craig Thomas Project. That's who the band was. Yes. And they decided to do a cover of I Shot the Sheriff. And JJ got on the drums and he he jammed with them, man. And
I bet he crushed it.
Oh yeah, he did. He did. It was great. It was great seeing him jamming with him playing, being on drums playing I Shot the Sheriff. I loved it. I thought it was great. And he did his own set list there too. He played his themes and he did a lot of the songs from the Wrestling Boot Band CD. I don't know if you remember that. The one he did with Hulk Hogan, the Wrestling Boot Band.
Oh, heard of it. I don't think I ever really sit and listen to it, but I know what you're speaking of now.
Yeah. He did a lot of the songs on there, and he did the Thunder in Paradise song. He did that. Okay. And what made
you want to do your theme for your entrance?
Yeah. What inspired your theme there, Ronnie?
Well, it's pretty self-explanatory. Did you all hear it?
Yes, I heard it.
I mean, it's straight from the church. It doesn't get much better than to be completely honest with you.
Yeah.
I did not pick that music. I didn't even know I was coming out to that theme until I don't know. It was like I had my 5th match ever at OVW, and I came out and actually stopped and I listened, and I was like, oh, I like that, huh? And I went to the ring and did my thing. Had no idea what I was coming out to, because I think the first few times I had a microphone in my hand, so I was too busy running my yap to pay attention to what my music was. It's one of those things that when you go from obviously you have to use non-copyrighted music.
Yes.
On TV, and I would always come out to Jesus Walks by Kanye West when I wrestled on the indies. And so I didn't really pay attention to what I was coming out to, but somebody had a good ear because they chose it, and I think it's excellent. Now it's one of my favorite songs ever that I've come out to. I really it encapsulates what I do and who I am, I think.
Yes.
Yeah. Go ahead, Eric.
I was gonna say talking about theme music. Your whole character. What also inspires, because watching you work in the ring, when I seen your work in the ring, your footing and how you move and your punch and stuff, I love that because it reminds me of some of the talent that I watched growing up. And who do you pull from for inspiration for like your ring work in the ring? Who do you model yourself after?
Great question, my friend. I have a group of guys. I can't. People ask me, "Who's your favorite wrestler of all time?" Yeah, I don't have. I can't. I can rarely pick one of anything. I got Tully Blanchard,
Yes.
big Tully Blanchard fan. Big Ravishing Rick Rude fan.
Oh,
Um,
yes.
big Rick Martel fan. Whether you're talking babyface Rick Martel in AWA or Rick the Model Martel, which was one of my favorites in
Yeah.
WWE. And then you got to sprinkle a little bit of the Macho Man in there. There's certain things that Macho did. His footwork. You what? I'm glad you said that. People don't pay attention to footwork, and it's one of the things as far as training goes. I am huge on footwork. And you were talking about Haley J's and all that. I'm a stickler. And because watching guys like Macho Man, his footwork was so crisp and so he was almost like a cat when he was in the ring, the way he moved around. So you take those four guys, and and let me add one more. Sorry, Kurt Hennig as well. Those five guys, and I kind of mash a lot of stuff together, and that's what kind of created me from the very beginning. I've always tried to not necessarily modeled myself completely after one of the guys, but I've taken elements of kind of all five of them.
You're
Kinda
like
mash them together.
you're like I'm gonna give this a try for the first time. Let's see how it goes with the crowd. Like
Well, no, it's not even
no,
that.
yeah.
It's like when it comes to the moves and the movements, it really has nothing to do with the crowd. You can, my little
Yeah.
brother and sister will take a lot of credit for it because just growing up, I did everything to them. They'll tell you, they'll take all the credit in the world. He hit us with everything, whether we wanted it or not. I was bigger than they were. They couldn't do anything about it. And as long as I didn't hurt them and they didn't cry, my mama wasn't
Yeah.
gonna say a word. So,
Mm.
so it's just something. I was an athlete growing up, so not even growing
Yeah.
up, even before I started wrestling, I played a little semi-pro football up in Canada.
Okay.
So I guess you
Okay.
can take my athletic background with the combination of I'm an old school wrestling guy. You mentioned some of the guys you grew up watching resemble that. Well, that's all I watch today. Believe it or not, I ain't watched WWE in like 2 years. I haven't, I go rewind the tape. I watch a lot of 80s wrestling. I watch some 70s. I even, being a teacher, I even dipped back into the golden era when it first started in the 50s and 60s to show some of my kids the progression of, yeah.
Bruno San Martino
Well,
era.
Bruno Simar was that was 70s and 80s. I'm talking about Gorgeous George,
Gorgeous
Oh,
George,
yeah.
and
David.
all those
Yeah.
those guys dipping into the 60s and early 70s, and you'd be surprised what you find watching some of that old stuff. And I'm a big believer in what is old can become new again very quickly, and I just sprinkle a little bit of rev dust on it, and so that's to answer your question. Yeah, those five guys, kind of an amalgamation, um, and that's where my style comes from.
Nice. I love that because just how you move in your footing in the ring and when you're throwing those punches, what drew me in when I was watching your matches, just how when you stomp and punch, I'm like, yes. I was like, I missed that because I love that because I love those type of punches there. And like Flair and Dusty Rhodes, like my dad was a Dusty Rhodes fan. He loved the American Dream, and I've said this on the podcast plenty of times. David knows where I'm going with this. About I should tell Ronnie about how my dad was with Ric Flair and Dusty Rhodes. He loved the American Dream. That was his guy. When Flair come on TV, that man would cuss and yell at the TV. He about threw out TV a few times when Ric Flair come on. He did not like the Four Horsemen. He couldn't stand them.
Yes.
Especially with my brother, we'd get a kick out of my dad. We'd sit there and watch, Saturday night 6:05 on the Superstation.
6:05, baby. That's right.
We'd watch where we watched the one thing I remember as a kid to this day was when the Four Horsemen was stalking Dusty Rhodes. They tracked him down and they got out of the car and they beat him down. They tied him.
Beat him down.
And Tully comes over with the crutch because he cut that promo. I love that. I laugh every time Tully comes out, with that crutch and he's hitting him, with in the gut and stuff. And Dusty sitting there just, selling like no tomorrow. And I mentioned that to someone. We were talking about, stuff like happens outside wrestling, like people shoot and stuff. And I said, you guys got to see that, man. And I told him, I said, you got to see Dusty and the Four Horsemen when they beat him up. And he watched it and he said, man, he goes, let me ask you this, Everett. I said, what's that? He says, imagine if something like that happened today. I said, they'd have someone be calling the cops, man.
Yeah, they would. I mean, that's probably not a bad thing though, always. Yeah. It's funny you mentioned that because I told a similar story on the Deathmatch Wrestle podcast about my great grandmother watching the same guys, in the same event you're talking about, and how my great grandmother she was older and she was sick and she had the old school oxygen in with the big old heavy oxygen tank sitting on the floor. And she was fine, and then Dusty come out and Flair, and she get mad. She'd sit up and she'd reach down, take her house shoe off, and throw it at the TV. And that Ric Flair's dirty. There's a shoe. That's the Four Horsemen. Somebody get in there and help Dusty, and then I'm sitting on the floor by the couch making a mistake, and the hand would just come up and I'm like, and I'm, so I learned a few lessons, watching and wrestling with my great grandmother. You can't sit too close when the Horseman and Dusty.
Or she'd be giving you the Avant Claw,
Man, she would rip that oxygen out of her nose, and talk about that right there. That's when people talk about wrestling. That's the memories and that's the feeling I get. Those same moments you're talking about. That's if someone said encapsulate pro wrestling for me, that's it.
Yes,
that's that feeling in those moments.
Sitting there watching the first, also sitting there watching your first match live, as a person, I
don't remember watching my first match live. I've been told that I was taken to many wrestling shows as a youth. My wrestling. Right. It's been in my family's blood since, like I said, my great grandmother at least, and I have memories of my grandmother who she was kind of a more timid, shy, and she would just get mad. She'd have to walk away. She's like, I can't keep watching it. She would leave. My mother would tell me stories that she said she would go to wrestling shows, start out in the nosebleed seat, somehow before the show's over with, she's right there ringside missing a shoe because she's throwing it at somebody. And then there's me, who apparently she took me to all kinds of stuff when I was young. My first one I remember, I vaguely remember some ICW stuff in Lexington, but that's more of a blurry memory. The one I really remember is when the WWF came to town and Papa Shango. Papa Shango was coming and he stepped up on the ring. There was a guy, enhancement talent in the ring, and he did something with his hands and the guy's boot caught on fire. And I was like, whoa. From that moment on, I was afraid of Papa Shango. I wanted nothing to do with Papa Shango. I was like, this man, he made me believe. Let's put it that way.
Right.
And now, I can only imagine my kids, when they get older. And I really hope that they don't want to wrestle because I got some girls, but. I get the feeling that I'm gonna have to.
Everett has that situation too.
I have a daughter. She turns 5. She turns 5 this weekend. She'll turn 5.
Okay.
And we asked her what she wanted to do, what she wanted to try. We wanted to get her in gymnastics, and she told us, I want to do karate. And then my wife looked at me. She's like, she wants to do karate. I'm like, well, let's get her into it. And she's like, I didn't expect that. I said, I know where she got that from. And my wife said, where did she get that from? And I said, remember when I was watching Cobra Kai season 4 there towards the end when they had the All Valley tournament and all of a sudden the girls are out there. She had her door open and she was playing and she heard me in there getting all excited watching it and stuff. She comes in and she sits down right next to me and watches that. And she was just taken in by it. And she wants to do karate. So
there you go.
She's been doing it for about a couple weeks now. And she's really, really getting better. She's really listening and doing stuff. And one thing I was working with her and my wife was this weekend was getting her kicks up. Her, having her kicks are low, working on high kicks, and
Yeah.
her sensei told us what to do, what to work with her on, and we do it during the week. And she goes about twice a week, and she loves it. She definitely loves it, and she saves all that energy she has for karate. And when she gets in there,
Right.
she just loves it, man. And
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, you can tell her from the Reverend, happy early birthday whenever you
All
get to
right.
it. My youngest is also 5, so I understand. I like those 5-year-old girls are something else. They
yeah,
are something else.
they're mine's a pistol. And the one thing I don't have to worry about is she sticks with this as she gets older. If
Hmm.
Everett,
anything
can I
happens,
vanish?
she
Can
can
I
pretty
vanish?
much. Can you vanish?
I'm gonna
Yeah, I'll
I'm
make
gonna
you vanish.
vanish.
Okay.
You gotta go.
Okay.
You gotta go potty.
You gotta go
Yeah.
potty. All right. He's gone.
Oh, that one. Wow, he did vanish. Wow.
But like I was saying there, Reverend, the one thing I will not have to worry about her if she sticks with this as she goes on in life. She sticks with it. Is I won't have to worry too much about her because she can protect herself when she needs
Handle
to.
herself.
Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely. I'm with you on that one, brother. Amen. Amen.
Amen. Yeah. I'm excited that she's getting into something. And if I brought her I talked about CFWE. She went with me to a couple shows last year, and
Mhm.
she got in the ring in the ring when they were getting it set up with the other kids that were there. And a lot of the kids that were there were kids of the workers, and she got in there. And one of the veterans that was there, Panther Rodriguez, I don't know if you heard of that name, Panther Rodriguez.
I'm not familiar. No.
He said to me, he said, that's your kid, right? I said, yeah, that's her. That's my daughter. And he said, look how she's running the ropes there. And I was watching, and he goes, she's natural. And I looked and I was like, so what are you saying, Panther? And he's like, well, you never. I'm like, I know what you're saying. I know what you're getting at, man. I said, I'll tell you what, if she ever wanted to do it, try it. I'd support her 100%. Be a supporter. Anything she wants to do in life, I'll support her 100%. She wants to try
Yeah.
this, she wants to do this, I'll support her 100%. And keep her in mind, it's like you try something, put 100% into it, because I'll support you
Absolutely.
100%, man.
There you go. There you go. I feel the same way. I feel the same way. If my girls do want to do it, there's gonna be dad teaching them. It's the same with you talk about Haley J. That's what happened with Haley J. When she decided that she wanted to wrestle, she had to come see me. I wasn't gonna have anybody else do it. Her mom's a wrestler.
Yes.
But she had to come see me. I had to make sure that she was gonna get taught properly and correctly. So at least the basics. Um,
Yes.
so for sure, I'm with you. I understand completely. But I'm praying they don't want to wrestle. I'm
Yeah,
praying.
it's tough, man. It is. Because I asked a few workers. I said, what do you say to someone who wants to get into wrestling? And a lot of them say, don't. They're being
Yep.
honest. They're being honest,
Mhm.
man. They're being honest about it. And
It's not easy.
it's
A little easier these days, I'll admit. A little too easy these days, but there's enough. Hopefully, there's enough people who care about the wrestling business to treat it with the respect that it needs to be treated with. And I try to uphold all the proper values of pro wrestling, and not just because you got a pair of boots doesn't make you a wrestler. That's not how it works.
right.
Unfortunately, that's a lot of people are getting away with that, but that's not really how it's supposed to work.
Right. Right. One of the things when we were talking about OVW and even Grindhouse. Now, someone comes in and they want to get in the ring. They want to learn the business. They want to be a wrestler. What do you tell them, and what do you look for out of someone that comes in to the promotion and says they want to do this? What's one of the things?
Well, I don't. Oh, David's back and he's gone again, just like that. What I tell them, I often will ask them that question. My first question, not even often, my first question is always, why? Why do you want to do this? Because I gotta know. I gotta know where their motivation is. And depending on that answer, I can almost tell you whether or not they're gonna survive and make it or not. um when you have a heartfelt conviction about something, like, a lot of people remind me of me. It's like, oh man, my whole life I've always wanted to do this. I've just had this dream. And you can tell when somebody's sincere and that's something that they've had in their heart, and I'm all for that. And I'm like, yes, I got somebody who's going to work and get it. And then you have some who answer like, well, it's just, I thought it'd be something cool to do. Most of the cool to do people don't make it, because once you get into it, you realize that the actual learning and doing it right is not so cool. It is work. It is work for sure. I look for body language. People can say anything. Body language speaks volumes, and I am very good at reading body language. And a lot of people who come see me off top, I know just with their body language. Either it's okay. Some of them are just nervous. You can tell. Some are just nervous. Some for some reason they look at me. They're like, "Oh man, this is Reverend Ronnie Roberts." They're nervous to talk to me. I don't know why. I try to, put that stuff at ease. I do what I do. I'm pretty good at what I do, but I'm nobody to be
Mm.
nervous about.
Right.
And then some, like I said, some their body language, their words sound good, but their body language tells me that their words don't match up with what they actually feel. Um, so I guess number one is body language. Two is their words. When your words and your body language match up, then I know that we could probably got something. I can probably help you be successful and get you to that first step of where you need to go. One thing I tell them also was that you're not going to come in here and I'm not going to teach you everything. I'm going to build a foundation and build a little bit on top of that foundation. But then it takes experience and other people to help
Mhm.
you decorate the house how you want it. If you go to a wrestling school and somebody tells you they're going to tell you everything that you need to know, they are full of it, because they can't. You can't do that. Words don't teach, experience does. You must get out and go do things. And there's certain lessons that you can only learn is when you get in front of those people, which is also why it helps here at Grindhouse, is because we have a show that is attached to our training program. So we train you up, then we put you out in front of people so you can go make some of those mistakes before you go out. And because we're also trying to teach you this is wrestling business. It's not wrestling fun. Don't mean you can't have fun. Don't mean you
And
can't
then
make
that's why, and
friends.
also that's why they have seminars also as well.
Absolutely. That's our whole
Yeah.
thing. Our whole thing is to try to make people
Mhm.
better, not just our students, but wrestling in
Mhm.
general, because I don't want someone to go to some rinky dink little show that's maybe somebody's having in their garage where no
Yeah.
one's trained properly, no one has gear, and then they see a flyer for OVW or a Grindhouse or something, and they equate that with OVW or
Mm.
equate that with
You
Grindhouse.
see, yeah,
Well,
Yes.
they see that little flyer that somebody
yeah,
created on on Adobe or
yeah, and
whatever.
all
And
and all, and
Yeah.
all they see is wrestling. So they see my picture somewhere, and they're like, "Oh, well, I watched that wrestling the other day in that garage, and it was terrible. So I'm not gonna go see that." It's not the same thing. But
mm,
unfortunately, that's not how people think. So my goal is, at least I can't affect the whole world, but I can affect the area that I'm in
mm,
Jeffersonville and Indiana and Louisville, Kentucky, and that surrounding
mm,
area. I can be an agent of change to put the wrestling business in a better spot than it is,
Yes.
and that's our mission. My partner, Too Tough Tony, you all might have heard of him. I'm sure
Yes.
Deathmatch Russell has, when you have Death
yes, I need to.
in the
Yeah, we need
in
to
the
get him
title.
on the podcast. I need to get
I'm
him
sure
on soon.
I'm sure we
Yeah.
can get Tony in there. He's
All right.
Tony and I. We're all about the community and trying to make things
Yeah.
better for the kids and the community in general, but also the wrestling community.
Mm,
Yes.
And when you combine what we're doing, I can tell. The good word always says, you can tell the type of tree it is by the fruits. Um, we're doing good things, and a lot of good things are happening for us, which tells Tony and I that our heart's in the right
mhm.
place and we're doing the right thing.
You have a
Um,
good, and you have a bunch of good people right now that you're working with, and
w-
that's the good
we
thing,
do,
you know.
Yeah.
and it's
Yeah.
our job just to help mold them and send them on the right path and teach them the things they need to know so they can continue on and keep learning.
Ronnie,
get better.
let me ask you this: what's the youngest student right now that you have? The youngest.
And I want to follow up talking about student because I got someone in the chat here on Podbeam that mentioned something. Go ahead, David.
Okay. Well, the youngest I have right now is 17.
Okay.
I encountered Billy Starks when she was 15.
Yes.
She had been training since she was 14. Alice Crowley started when she was 14 or 15.
14, yeah.
Big Al, I got to help Big Al a little bit as well. So right now 17. He's a high school kid, plays basketball, super athletic, good, really good kid, and I think he's gonna Eli Cruz, you may hear that name here in the future. He's gonna be all right one of these days. I tell him all the time though, if this was a few years ago, I'll be unstretched you every day, boy. But he's a kid.
Right.
At 17, you're a kid, and he does kid things sometimes. But he's really good kid, good heart, listens well, learns quickly, and he's gonna do something. But he's the youngest at 17 right now.
Okay. Okay.
Everett,
Dustin
what
Barnfather, if I'm saying that right, he's in the chat right now. Dustin, he said he was nervous when you're talking about when he's starting out and going to a wrestling school.
You say Dustin? Oh, I know Dustin. Yes.
Dustin, yeah. He said he was nervous. Yeah, he was nervous. Shout out
he was nervous. He was one of those that you see that what's that old it was like an adult cartoon kind of where the drawing was kind of squiggly lines as they drew it. That was Dustin. He just looked like he was just vibrating nervousness. And I'm just looking at him and I laughed out loud. I'm like, bro, relax. What are you? Yeah, he's like, I'm good. I'm fine. I'm like, no, you're not. He's like, your words can't fool me, brother. I can read body language. You are not. You are super nervous. But he's not so nervous these days, so that's a good thing.
That's good. That definitely is good. Now, we're talking about earlier the matches. The matches.
The matches.
Yes. OVW. I wanna jump in talking about these matches here that
Go for it.
We David and I watched here.
You muted yourself.
Yes, I did. I had to because I got the video up right now.
Okay, gotcha. Sorry, I saw your lips moving. I was like, I wonder if he knew he lived.
The way I got the sound set up, it basically it feeds through. So when I click on stuff on my desktop, it feeds through. So I had to mute this because when I was talking, I'm pulling it up. I didn't want it to just all of a sudden, just come on and stuff. But yeah, the match with that I pulled up on YouTube here was Ryan Howell and Dysfunction versus Dysfunction. Did I say that right?
Yes.
Versus
Thank God they changed their name. They used to be something that I don't even remember because it was too difficult to pronounce.
Versus Reverend Ronnie Roberts, Dustin Jackson,
Fanny Pack Party.
Yeah, Panty Pack Party. I thought that was great there. I was like,
Fanny Pack.
Hey, I love the gimmick. Man. Panty Pack Party, man, because it reminded me of like
not Panty Pack, Fanny.
Fanny Pack.
Fanny Pack. The Fanny Pack Kid, Cal Hero, and Dustin Jackson. They combined to make the Fanny Pack Party.
Whoops.
Now the Panty Pack Party, that's a different show. That's a whole different level. I don't know if the good Reverend can be teaming with the Panty Pack Party.
Oh man,
with the conflict of interest.
I gotta play this.
Sounds like that.
Damn.
Panty Pack Party. That's more for flair.
Yeah, there you go.
Sorry, I had to, man. There was that moment right there.
That's good stuff.
Take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll dive more into the conversation right here. But first, there's a couple things I do want to mention. Keep up with the latest shows and content from Podcast City Network over on podcastcity.net. Follow them on facebook.com/Podcast City Network, Twitter @PodcastCityNet. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, Podcast City Network, on Twitch, Podcast City Network. Podcast City Network, your top source for independent podcasting. Be creative, be yourself. Whether it's a sticker for your car, a t-shirt for that special someone, or a neck garter to keep safe during COVID-19, Podcast City Network has you covered. Grab the latest PCN gear today at podcastcity.net/shop to show your support for your favorite show or shows from Podcast City Network today. Want to start a podcast? Trying to grow your current show? Podcast City Network is here to help. We currently offer services for social media advertising, marketing, live stream hosting, custom logo design and branding, transcript services, custom intro and outro videos, audio video editing, press kits, one-on-one consultants, and much more. So don't wait. Contact us today. podcastcity.net/services. Head over to the website, fill out the form, get in contact with Podcast City Network. Have you ever wanted to start a podcast but didn't know how? Do you already have a podcast but you don't know how to grow it? Are you trying to find ways to make your podcast profitable? You can learn how to do it here at Podcast City Network. We offer consultant services, tutorial classes to help with learning to better expand your knowledge to grow your show. We also give access to our network of shows to help with cross promotions, guests, and overall reach while becoming a part of our ever-expanding PCN community based on people helping people. The best part is no membership fee. So what are you waiting for? Fill out the contact form below right here over on podcastcity.net/join now and sign up today. Podcast City Network, your top source for independent podcasting. Be creative, be yourself.
You're listening to The Everett Lee Show.
This match right here, I'll pull it up right here, but I won't be able to play the sound. So hopefully OVW don't flag me for showing this right here. This is
I don't think they will. I think it's okay.
Just
But
let
you
them
know
know.
what?
Let Alice know, Ronnie, that we were discussing this. We were critiquing a match.
Oh, I'm sure he'll be overjoyed to hear that. Oh, there it is. Look
There
at
it
that.
is.
Man, I haven't even watched this match back, boys, and I remember how it ended,
Uh-huh.
but that's about all I really remember. So, let's take a look. See, there's old Dysfunction.
And there's this crowd signs. Ryan sucks.
Oh yeah. They got
Ever caught that?
Yeah,
you got Brendan Espinosa there in the front and the Iron Bear Tom Coffey in the back. I've known Tom Coffey for over a decade. I beat him and his old man for my first ever tag team titles in Tennessee somewhere.
Oh, nice.
Many years ago. Brandon Espinosa's from St. Louis, I do believe. And then you got this guy right here. My
The Jericho era.
Oh,
God.
Yeah.
man, I'm so glad it's muted right now.
I just started dying laughing because it's like when I was listening to the crowd, Ronnie. When I heard the crowd, I'm like, and I saw the signs, that's just started dying laughing there. And
Oh yeah.
as he's coming out,
He wants the attention. He wants the attention.
yeah,
He's a rock star now. He's something. I got a lot of words for Ryan Howe.
he's working the crowd. That's what I loved about this, man. They're booing him, and he's working the crowd, man. You know, it's like he's doing his part, man. He's working the crowd. But I just love the reaction in the back there, just sitting there like, really, we got a tag with him tonight.
Yeah. Yeah, they say it tells you a lot. When your partners look at you that way, it tells you a lot about a person.
Stand over here.
Guys.
Okay, stand over here.
They're like, what? This was at the time I was feuding with Mr. Ryan Howe, and I was going after that title that's around his waist.
Okay.
And also the fanny pack party, and I do believe Dysfunction here. We're having some issues, so it only makes sense to throw us all together and have a nice little fight about it.
Yes. I was gonna ask you what was the story behind this right here that drew all of you together here, and so pretty much you were chasing the belt there, correct?
Yep, and dysfunction chasing those titles there that the you can't say belts. Talking about if Al Snow's listening, no, you can't. Or nor Doug Basham, they'll never say belts. It's a title or
Title.
championship, one of the two.
Yes, a title, because a belt is where you wear to keep your pants up. A title.
Absolutely, you can get a belt anywhere. You got to win a title.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
But
a fanny pack can hold your pants up though. Too.
A fanny pack. Well, I guess if you loop it through the loops, I guess it could.
Yeah.
I love Kyle Hero. He's fantastic. Look at him. Those guys are funny. But basically, yeah, you had a couple tag teams that had some issues. You got Ref Serious. Look at him. Oh man, Serious. But normally I'm all smiles when I come out. I mean business tonight. And Ryan and I were having some issues. I have a talk segment called The Good Word, and Mr. Howell liked to come out and interrupt what I was doing. And so I decided I might want to just take his title from him just to shut up, and I wanted to stop The Rock. That was my whole deal. Let's stop The Rock.
Yeah, you man, I was dying laughing here because it's like you cannot wait to get your hands on him, man. You cannot.
Oh yeah, it had been building up to this point. We hadn't had any. I think we had one match up to this point, and he screwed me over somehow. And Rev doesn't take it lightly when I don't get the winner's share of the purse. I got a building to build. The building fund. The building's not gonna build itself. I got a congregation to take care of, and I like my pockets lined. And when you take that away from me, I get a little upset.
Yeah, this I mean, I can tell it's like there was something going on here. I didn't know the complete story though, but as soon as the bell rang, as soon as the ref got everyone situated here, you're already ready to go. Your team.
Well, if I remember correctly, I got tired of waiting.
Yes, you did.
It was time for somebody to get some hands or some feet. In this point, that's all right. I ain't have time to mess around. They were taking too long, taking up all the TV time and everything. I had work to do.
Yep.
Wow.
Oh, I love that right there. Just the tag in and tag out right there. That.
Oh yeah. Should be another quick one.
Yep. There you go.
A little. That was our those guys were a tag team, and I am very well versed in tag team wrestling. So that was a game plan. Hey, let's tag in and out. Let's get in. Let's whoop up on them. I really wanted to get my hands on Ryan Howell.
Are they still wrestling? Those two?
Oh yes, they are. Kyle Hero just had shoulder surgery.
Okay.
Say that 5 times fast. But he'll be back. He'll be back soon enough. His partner tried to defend the OVW tag titles by itself and didn't work out well for him.
Maybe we'll have to reach out to them.
Yeah, you should. Good dudes there. I'm big fans of the Fatty Pack Party. Oh, what a big blow!
This guy right here, like yeah.
Yep, there he goes.
Oh
yep.
Man.
There he is, working your head there. Yep. Oh, whoa. Oh, that was close. He ducked out of that. There, you swung at him there, Reverend. And then, come on in. I love that.
Yeah, he wanted no peace. He knew I was upset. There's a certain look in your eye, and I think he knew he crossed the line with me. I may be a reverend, and sometimes I am a nice guy, but it don't mean that I won't lay hands on you. That's for sure.
Yes. I love that right there. You're holding him, tag, get a hit in there, elbow to the head there. Ooh,
well,
nice.
Kyle Hero, he's the '80s personified, boy. He's a young man himself. I'm not even sure if he was alive in the '80s, but he sure does love him. Oh, look at the big drop kick from the big fella. Oh, but he drop kicked him right to me for some reason, huh?
Yep. Ooh, nice. Ooh, there's what I'm talking about right here. Those jabs and step on that foot. And then just double axe handle to the back. You're working the back. What I noticed, the back and the midsection and the head a lot.
Oh, well, I think I was just angry and was just swinging at whatever happens. Happened to be there to keep it real with you. But I do like to pick apart and dissect it. That's absolutely. Last match I had Thursday, as a matter of fact. I knew that my opponent loved to do the frog splash, so I figured I'd beat his ribs up real good. So if he ever hit it, and he did, but he wasn't able to make the cover. So I'm smarter than the average bear, that's for sure.
Yeah, it because I love like the flow of the tags. Get right there in the ring, in ring position there, just on that side. Just cut that ring off there. Quick tags in and out, and just
In and out.
just keep him over there. Oh, he got away. Now he got his tag. Now he got the tag. Now here, whoop, nice drop kick.
Sweet drop kick from Dustin Jackson.
I like that height on it.
They just said, Ryan, how did he want to get in the ring? I didn't even notice that. No one.
Yeah.
He's such a. Oh man.
Yeah, he's.
What year was this? Ryan?
This was
Jeez.
2021. This was like at the end of 2021, October maybe. The date should be on the video. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
because Ryan and I had our final match in December. So
yeah, it said right there. Yeah, December 9th, 2021.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, it was.
So
it was towards the end of last year there. But yeah, you cleared out the ring there. There you go, man. You guys, you got control of the ring. And they're arguing. You can tell which team is working good together and which team is working against each other in this match.
Absolutely.
That's the one thing.
Another Dustin Jackson drop kick.
Yep. Oh, nice arm drag.
Man, did we just kick their butts the whole match? Is that what we did? Like I said, I remember how it ended. But man, we have been on top of these guys the whole time. I ain't got time for his double team move right there. I think I'm angry. I got things to do.
Yeah.
Forearms and punches abound.
Yep.
Let's see.
Yep. Oh, duck.
Oh, Harley Race.
Ooh, yes, that Harley Race knee there. That's another thing I noticed with your moves that you do. You like doing the high knee, that Harley Race knee there.
And it's big Harley Race fan back in the day. Everybody always says, "Oh, you did the Triple H." Man, it's not the Triple H. That's the Harley Race knee. Come on now.
Exactly. Where do you think Triple H got it from?
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, my father was a fan of Harley too. He just loved how he just worked in the ring too. It just he got down, and just it was a Harley Race,
Yeah, how can you not be a fan of Harley Race?
He goes.
He was excellent. Oh, handful of hair.
There you go, rooting the crowd, trying to eat.
Yep.
Yeah, he's almost like a little brother who just annoys you all the time.
Yeah.
He's throwing stuff at you. He's if you fight him, he's gonna stick his thumb in your eye because he can't beat you. And I'm starting to sweat watching this. I'm starting to get a little hot.
Yep. Now they got in control. Now they're cutting off the ring. Now the momentum's changed.
Or is it? Are you sure?
Nope. There we go. I love the hot tag back in. Getting that tag back in there.
Look at him.
Cleaning house.
Yeah. Ooh, I can't help but watch myself in the background. It's hilarious. I'm excited about it.
I wonder what size ring was that?
It's a 20 by 20. It is huge. I love it. I absolutely love it.
Yeah, I think the ring CFWE used was not the 20 by 20. It was they use I think I could be wrong. So George, don't hate me. Come at me for this. I think 16. I think they use 16.
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
Most independent wrestling shows have 16 by 16 rings. You'll find the occasional 18 or 20 or 6-sided, but most are going to be 16 by 16. At Grindhouse, we use a 16 by 16.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I heard. I think it was AEW and WWE's rings are like I think 20 or
20. WWE is definitely 20. I don't know about AEW. I would assume that they're going to be 20.
Mm-hmm.
WCW back in the day used 18 by 18.
Yeah.
I bet you Google it, Everett. You can find it.
I probably could. I Google it and I can find out what ring. Oh, look at this. I love it. Come on. Make that tag. Oh,
Lord.
Yep. Oh, what do we got here? He
likes to step on that pedal.
Yeah, distortion pedal. I love that. I loved it when the commentary said, "Yep, distortion pedal." He's going for the distortion pedal. And
let me tell you, I don't know what kind of boots he's wearing, but it ain't the greatest feeling in the world to get.
No, I think you have the best boots of them all.
Oh, well, you can't see my boots; they're all covered up. I look at myself as a billboard. I gotta put my name all over myself, or some kind of form of advertising. Anyway, my boots are actually black and white though, and I do have wrestling boots on.
yes,
But you can't really see them though.
yeah, man. I just this tag team match. It just there was so much going on, and it just flowed so good, and you could tell what was going on with everything happening in the ring. Oh, fighting out, getting out of that corner. I love that fight. Get out of that corner.
Trying to. Get out of there, DJ. But you.
He's fighting. Oh no. He got him.
The big guy.
Oh.
Iron Bear. What's this gonna lead to?
Oh
God.
There we go.
Somebody get in there and break that up.
Yep.
Okay, good. We both got in there.
Look, I didn't do nothing. You throw your hands up, Ronnie. I didn't do nothing. You didn't see nothing, ref.
Listen, Cal beat me to him, so I'm standing there, and apparently I decided, well, he's sitting there. I might as well take a shot at him. That's hilarious. Oh, I don't remember that.
How does it feel watching a match you haven't seen yourself in before? Or do you go back and watch yourself? I
used to watch myself all the time. Now, if I was happy with it, I don't want to see it because I'm going to watch it and I'm going to tear it apart and I'm going to over critique it. And so I must have enjoyed this match because I did not watch it back.
What I like about it is when you're out there, you're getting the crowd riled up, man. It's like, come on, you're bringing everyone on this, what's going on in the ring. He didn't tag. Ref didn't see it. It was a tag, but the ref didn't see it. Drag him over to the corner now. Now do a tag, and then the ref's gonna turn around. Oh yeah, there was a tag, but he didn't see it. You see, I love that. I love that right there.
As bad as it is, if the ref didn't see it, it doesn't count.
Nope.
Look at me. I'm upset about it. I'm yelling at him now.
Yeah,
I like how the seating is too around the ring. Like it's like bleachers, and then you got the front row, the guardrail to the right, like that right there.
Well, you can't really see. You never really see all of it. Like where the hard camera is a lot of seats, and you rarely see over to the left there too. You mainly get to see the ramp side and right in front, but there's a lot of seating there.
Yeah. You can. I like the lighting. How the lighting is, I like that, and just how everything is pretty much set up there. And then you got the commentary over next to the ring, not too far, but like it reminds you of like the old school wrestling where you had the commentary like right there.
Right. I kind of like when they used to have it right there at ringside. Literally, I always like that. They're kind of catty corner to that corner over there, but they're still pretty close.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, he's rocking his jaw right there. Get that big tag, baby. There you go. Let's rock and roll. Cow hero. Yes, sir. Wham. Give it to him. Boom. Turn around, big fella. Yeah. Give it to him.
There he goes.
Who hit me? Why am I doing? I don't even know what happened to me. I'm down.
Yeah, what are you doing on the outside? Yeah.
Somebody hit me or something. I'm grabbing my head.
Yeah. Oh, super kick.
Super kick. All right, here comes Espinosa.
Oh, another one.
Super kick of his own. That's a tag there. Referee saw that. Nobody else saw it though.
Yeah.
I didn't see it then. I bet Cal didn't see it.
Yep.
Nope. Sure didn't.
Oh. Man, what a clothesline. There he goes for the cover. Wait, nope.
No cover. Oh. Now he wants to be big man.
Yep.
Sneak attack. Yeah.
Here comes my favorite part of the match.
This might be my favorite part too, if it's the end.
Yep, it's about to go home here. It is about to go home. There he goes. He's taunting you. There he goes.
Hey.
There you go. Get you some. I love this. Here we go.
Out of here, kid. I won the battle royal.
I love it.
The hand. Here comes the power.
Here goes the hand.
That's like the Macho Man right there. There it is. That's the Macho.
There it is.
Yes. Yeah, I see the.
Oh,
I
love it.
Gotta Gotta baptize him.
There we go.
There it is. Beat the champ.
That's it. You beat the champ. You beat the champ.
Ah.
I love that finish, man. Because I said to David, David, have you seen his finish? And he's like, no. I said, watch it, dude. I'm telling you, man. It's.
I'll admit that's probably one of the most people love my finish, and you have to. I wish you would have found the match with. Actually, it's not a match. It's the whole pay-per-view. It was a free pay-per-view on YouTube. I think it was called Retribution or something like that, where I wrestled Blanco Loco. He's been around Florida. You may know who he is.
Yes, I've heard of it. Yes, I've heard.
Yeah, and we had an excellent match. Started off I think we stole the show out of the one gate, and it was the first time I hit the finish, and we kind of guided him down, and since then people have been all over.
That is awesome. Now, I did watch the other match with you and Ace Jackson. I watched that one right there, and I was telling you right there that was at UCW when.
Yep. Old Terry England. I love Terry England. One of my favorite promoters to work for.
What I loved about that match was how you worked the crowd. The crowd was. Even my dog agrees, man. You can hear him in the background. What I loved about it was how you worked the crowd, and there was no commentary, but just hearing the audience, they were behind Ace. They weren't behind you that night. They weren't behind you. And
no, I made sure of that because I have a running commentary for the most part. Oh yeah, if there was commentary. It was just me running my yap. I'm sure.
But it was entertaining because just how you drew heat on yourself and the crowd just booing you, and you get in the ring and you get out of the ring and you just build that heat, and the crowd's just going at it, and then you got in there and the momentum's on your side, and you're just putting a pounding on Ace. Then when Ace comes back, man, that crowd starts popping for him, and then as soon as they start popping for him, then you come back, and then they're booing you. They're trying to get behind Ace, and the match went back and forth pretty good there for the 13 minutes that it went. And Ace came out on top there with that finish there, man. I went
for the hand. I was coming for him, but he outsmarted me that day. I remember this match. Like I said, I don't remember the other one, but let me let you in on a little secret, boys.
Yes.
I enjoy wrestling in front of a crowd with no cameras much more than I enjoy wrestling on TV. Now, that may sound strange to a lot of people.
No, I know.
But I have a little more freedom and leeway when the cameras are not on. When the camera's on, sometimes
it gets carried away. Yeah.
I have to restrict some things. But a match like this, I had a lot of fun. I know what match you're talking about. I had a lot of fun until the finish of that match anyway. And you don't see my entrance, but there's a reason that they are booing me, because I didn't come out to music. I came out with a microphone in my hand, and they, as I look back on it, they had every reason to boo and not like me. I gave them every reason. Trust.
That's what you got to.
It's unfortunate that y'all didn't pick that up because, that was. I'm sure I had some terrible things to say.
Yeah, I love the reaction. I love the heat, and I love the momentum going back and forth with that match there. And David, and I know you enjoyed it as much as I did too, didn't you, David?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Looking down. What are you Are you sleeping now?
Yeah, he's taking a nap.
Yeah.
The 6-man tag boredom. Maybe
No.
the match.
The Juggalo one.
The Juggalo.
Get over that.
Yeah.
We'll do this one really quick.
Really quick. David, I'm going to reach over there. I'm going to hit you upside the head, man.
You know what?
I'd consider it. I'd consider paying at least $1 for that. See, now he left.
Yeah. He removed himself, man.
Yeah.
Wow. But the Juggalo match, David, you can come back in for the. All right, there, the Juggalo match that I brought to your attention there, because the Juggalo match that was at 2019 there, at the Gathering of the Juggalo JCW.
Was
you
it
were
2019? Okay,
yeah.
maybe it was
2019. I think also on that card, I was looking at the car, and I saw Jeff Cannibal and his wife, Tara Calloway, as well
Yeah.
on that same card.
Yeah.
There's a
Okay.
whole bunch of wrestlers.
There was a lot. Yeah, there was a
Yeah.
lot of people.
I think even Joey Janela was there with Penelope Ford at the time.
Yeah.
One of my, just to give you a little peek backstage at that show before,
Yes.
one of my favorite moments was I'm back there and I'm talking to the late great Tracy Smothers, who I love. Tracy,
Yes,
I've
man.
wrestled Tracy many a time, and he taught
Yeah.
me so much. I thought about wearing my Tracy Smothers shirt, but people would look at me funny. They're like, what's that on, your shirt? People would know anyway. Like, what's that flag on your shirt there, brother? What you got? But
No, he's one of those guys that really put it on the map too.
Tracy taught me so much. So I'm back there. I'm talking to Tracy Smothers and Sandman. And they're just
he's drinking his beer. Yeah,
and Teddy Hart kind of walks by, and Tracy grabs Teddy, come here. He kind of involves us in the conversation. And my favorite part, for this is not an exaggeration, for at least a half an hour, I'm watching Teddy Hart trying to gracefully exit out of this conversation to go do what he wants. But he's being respectful to Tracy and Sam at the same time. And then, as soon as he tries to walk away, Tracy's like, "Oh, all right, Teddy, come here." And Teddy, you see him, he's trying to hold it together, but he is just dying to get out of this conversation to go do whatever he's doing.
Yeah, because Teddy wants to go smoke his joints. Yeah.
Well, listen, I don't know about all that. I really don't. I don't. But
that's all that was going on that night. But
I am a fan of awkward moments. Like people don't like awkward moments. I love awkward moments, and it was so awkward for him, and I was just sitting there laughing my behind off because I thought that was my favorite part of that whole night. Just watching that whole, literally a half hour, watching him trying to get out of conversation and not being able to. So finally somebody else walked up and I guess distracted everybody, and he was able to slither out. But my bad. Carry on about this match.
Yes, when the beginning of it there, you're introduced and you come out and you're on the stick and you basically tell people that you are here to save them, and
absolutely.
You said you're not here for the lawyers because you're here to save them, and you pretty much, the crowd just does not like you, and then they start booing you, and they started like booing you bad there, and then they really started booing you more when you decide to hand out the collection plate there. They started booing you more, but then when they introduced Frank, he came out there, and who was Frank again? Now you said that was
he was I believe they had a group called Hit Row. They had just made it up to Raw. It was him. It was Swerve Strickland. It was they had another guy and a girl with them.
Yes.
And they had just made it to Raw, just made it up to the main roster, and then they released them like 2 weeks later.
Yeah.
So at the time, he was just a young headbanger. I remember he telling me he trained with the Dudleys down in Florida. And now I just saw him post something on Twitter the other day. He said, my 90 days are up. I'm ready to take bookings. So good dude, super talented as a hip hop artist as well.
Mm-hmm.
He went on, he had that match and then went on later that night and won some kind of like freestyle competition they had at the gathering. Super good dude. I'd like to connect with him again. I might have to bring him up to Grindhouse to wrestle one of my guys or something.
Right.
But the people didn't know who we were. But when you go out there and they disliked me so much, they didn't care who was coming out. They just want somebody to come out there and whoop me real good.
Yes, yes. And he came out there and they had live commentary. I was dying with the live commentary there, man. Because now when you hear live commentary, does that actually do you zone that out? Or does it throw you off? Because I know sometimes I've seen a show where they had live commentary, Ronnie, and the heel or the face would respond, or actually the heel would respond back to the commentary and tell them, I've seen where they'd say something commentary live and everyone can hear it, and you have people giggling and laughing, and the heel turns around and he's like, "I'm gonna come over there, I'm gonna shove that mic where the sun don't shine," this kind of deal. And How is
For
that
the-
when you hear live commentary when you're in the ring?
For the most part, I despise live commentary
Okay.
with a passion. However, it's not my first JCW show. First gathering, but not my first JCW show. The JCW live commentary is usually hilarious,
It is.
and those guys pull no punches.
No.
Zero punch. You go out there and you look bad, you are gonna hear about yourself doing bad as you're looking bad, kind of thing. With those
Yes.
guys, I was fine with it, and I think I did respond to them one time. But for the most part, I don't like it, and I to the point mainly because I guess guys are not very good at it. If you're at a show and they have live commentary, for the most part, they often have guys who have no business talking on a microphone and trying to entertain a person.
Right.
And so I have rolled out of the ring and unplugged things. I even got to the point where I started before the match. I'm like, hey guys, take this match off if you would. I'll do the entertaining of the people if you don't mind. I hate it. But at JCW show, those guys are excellent.
Yes.
But yeah, because also I'm sure you saw that match. That's why I was saying, like, Joe Gertner was there wrestling, like on the microphone. They were tossing bottles at his head. Like, really?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, that's what I meant to say. The the Juggalo crowd, boy,
they're
you
hardcore.
You better get in there and
They're
not
hardcore.
stink up the joint. If you stink up the joint, you might leave with a laceration or something. Because they will throw full bottles of Fago, they'll throw batteries, they'll throw bottles with pee in it. They'll throw whatever they can get their hands on.
I saw stuff flying. I know. I saw stuff flying. I'm like, this is crazy.
Yeah, and this is I can say Big Frank and I must have went out there and did our thing because other than other small random debris that I probably deserved to be thrown at me after I got the microphone, we went out there and got a great reaction without the batteries and the pee and the Fago bottles.
You did.
So so we must have done a good job. We'll put it that way. We must have rocked them. I will tell you, once I went around with the collection plate, I got some interesting things in that collection plate.
No! Can you share or not?
No,
I can because I mean I got what I assumed was an edible. I got somebody. My favorite one thing I remember at the end, the last person I got to dropped 2 ibuprofen in there. He's like, "You gonna need that because somebody's about to kick your beat." And I was like, "Man, forget you! What you talking about?" But they put, you know what?
Oh, wow.
I think I got a picture of it somewhere. I just started telling the story and I forgot what they put in there. I've got so many stories about what people put in my collection plate. But they put some. It was an interesting night at the gathering. I think I got like $1.61, and the rest of it was just random things that they decided to put in there.
Wow.
But the one guy put a cookie in there, and I'm like, "Hey, I like cookies," and he's like, "You better watch out for that one." I was like, "Oh, I better put that down. I better be careful."
What about the live commentary? I died laughing when they said that they said Reverend has God on his side tonight, though. But Frank said he's gonna have if I can remember how he said it right. He said Frank is gonna beat the Reverend down, and he's definitely gonna meet Jesus tonight after this match.
Oh, that sounds about right.
I just died laughing because
I'm gonna have to go back and watch it because I don't really. I remember a couple of aspects about the match. I remember the crowd.
Yeah.
But I don't remember exactly what we did. I remember the finish. The finish, leading up to the finish was huge. Man, never mind. Go ahead. Go ahead. Carry on.
Yeah, that was pretty awesome. Just that match there, and just how you work the crowd, and I mean, those guys are tough, but you guys pulled it off, and great match. I suggest people go check it out there. Go on YouTube and search in Reverend Ronnie Roberts Wrestling. That's how you can find a lot of your matches on there on YouTube.
Okay, I'll have to go look myself.
Yeah, there's quite a bit of content on there. There is. I was surprised with the amount of content on there and everything. But
I am too, because I didn't put most of it up there.
Yeah, you can see there's stuff. There's some stuff from you on there. Then there's stuff on there. The Juggalo one that was on the Amazing Maria's channel on her YouTube channel. And
Yes.
That was probably Haley J that was recording that, as a matter of
Probably.
fact, more than likely.
yeah. But man, this has been great talking with you here, and discussing everything and stuff. But David, you have anything else you wanna add? I know you're looking down at your phone there.
Well, listen, I just now looked up at the
I
ticket.
don't
We've
know.
been going about an hour and a half. I didn't even know. Didn't even realize. So
What time
compliments
is
to
it?
you guys, because
Thank you.
if I was bored, I would have hijacked y'all show and had some fun. But obviously, I sat back and let you all you all lead the charge. So I must have been entertained.
Okay.
Talking about
Yeah.
hijacking. I just wanted to mention here. I've had people hijack my show before. Some good, some bad. But if you hijacked my show, I wouldn't be upset about it, man, because
I promise it'd be good.
Yeah, it would be good.
I promise you that.
It would be good.
I promise you that.
It would be good, because it's not every day that I would get my show hijacked by a reverend. So that would be the best. That'd be the best thing happen to me.
Very true. Very true. And especially the Triple R superstar, Reverend Ronnie Roberts. Yes, absolutely.
Yes, I do got to say that there is someone that has been viewing, or not viewing, but listening tonight. That we had a discussion with here probably about maybe 2 weeks ago, and I jumped on David's podcast, and when I jumped on there, I was sitting there talking with David, and David, I mentioned about how I was going to have you come on this podcast here, and I said to him, he said he knows you. He's worked with you before, and he was excited that I was going to have you on the podcast tonight here, and he said that you got to tell him I said hi, and I said, well, I said, why don't you tell him hi yourself?
Oh, look at that! I see it.
Ladies and gentlemen, invading the Everett Lee Show podcast right now is none other than Brandon Wolf.
Now, listen, you talk about a good match. Go find Brandon Wolf versus Ronnie Roberts at IWA. It might have been one of his first few matches at IWA, and we went out there and had us a little banger.
Yep.
IWA Mid-South, that is.
That was easily my favorite match of all IWA.
Yeah.
That was easily my favorite match in IWA. It was Ronnie. And that's when the most beautiful triple arm drags I've ever done. And I explained it before, like American, Japanese, and Japanese would flip. Ronnie and I, that was the best one I've ever had. Thank God it got recorded.
Yeah, Ronnie, it's on IWTV, I'm pretty sure.
Oh yeah! It's our favorite match. It's our favorite match. I've loved it for 2 reasons. Because we walked in, I was kind of hated. Ronnie was disliked, and midway in match, I'm like, I guess they're gonna change around a little bit. And just had our fun with it. We just had so much fun.
Oh yeah. Now listen, one thing I can do is I have a way of magnetically pulling the people one way or the other. So whoever's in there with me, they're gonna go on the opposite side, whether they want to or not. It's not much of a choice.
I spilled some water here, and I was like, what the heck is by my feet here? And I was like, oh, it's water I just spilled. But
are you sure you didn't just pee?
Are you sure your dog didn't piss on you?
No.
Oh, that too.
No. I had some water and it fell.
Now listen, now that Brandon Wolf's here, I'm gonna put him over real big. Brandon Wolf comes to wrestle for me at Grindhouse. Let me tell you a story about Brandon Wolf when he was first starting and training.
Yes, I'd love to
he's
hear
smiling because he knows exactly what I'm going to talk about. Okay, so Reverend Ronnie Roberts comes to a small town in Kentucky, in Western Kentucky, where Brandon was training and working at a promotion there. And I come out. I don't remember exactly what I did. Brandon, maybe you could jump in if you did, but I remember I came in and interrupted somebody's match or something, beat them up or some kind of thing. And poor Brandon's just a new trainee, just learning, and he's doing security out there, as a lot of young wrestlers do while they're learning the craft, right? So unfortunately, he made a mistake. When I listen, you think what you want about wrestling. When I walk through the curtain, if you might not believe wrestling is real, but I'm certainly real, as Terry Funk would say. And so Brandon comes up and he puts his hands on me and tries to hold me back or something. And I just and I'm wondering what in the world. So I take him and I, not so nicely throw him into the barricade there. And and it was a metal barricade. I feel bad talking about it now since I know him and I like him so much. But that wasn't the end of it, because him not knowing any better decided he was just gonna get up like nothing happened. So, so I'm trying to go up with my business. I see him out of the corner of my eye just get up, and I'm like, oh no, he didn't get up. And so I threw the superest kick. The superest kick. Trust me, there was no leg slap, but there was certainly a sound, because I kicked him right in the face.
Wow.
Surprise.
And then went back in the back and apologized to his trainer. Because I'm like, sorry, brother, but you saw him. You saw him get up. First he put his hands on me, and then he decided he was just gonna get up and not sell anything. So poor Brandon, who knew that he was gonna get to like, I don't know how many years ago that was. How long have you been wrestling now, Brandon?
That was about 4 years ago. And what's funny is, like, I felt so bad about that, and I apologized. And the funny thing, I can still feel the teeth marks that was left that kick. I still feel like my teeth being pressed against my lower lip like that. And
Lord.
Oh man,
it was something worth remembering.
Yeah, I remember it, because I really do feel bad about it now. But
he left his mark. He left his mark.
Yeah, that's for sure. But in the heat of the moment, there's just certain things that you don't do, and that's just how it is. Yeah. But now look at him. Brandon Wolf's excellent.
He is, man.
Phenomenal.
Excellent.
I know.
He is.
We're proud of him. I mean,
stuff I've seen with him. Brandon sent me some highlights, and I'm like, wow, this is great.
Yeah, Brandon, I was sleeping when you were sending those, dude. I just heard my phone go off. I'm like,
yeah.
Oh yeah. Brandon Wolf is a name to listen for here in the next few years.
Yes,
because
we know
he is super excellent, and it's the little things. It's the little things that he does so well. And right now at Grindhouse, he's been on a collision course with that Ace Jackson, now Cass Jackson, that we were talking about earlier.
Yes.
And they've butted heads so many times that they respect built, and now they're gonna join forces and go after the Grindhouse Pro Wrestling Tag Team titles. And I'm looking forward to watching them as a team. They have such great chemistry in the ring. I can only imagine how much chemistry they're going to have as a tag team. So looking forward to it.
Yeah, Brandon's great, and it's great having him drop by here tonight, because when we talked off camera last week, I said I'm going to have Reverend Ronnie Roberts on, and the idea sprung. It's like, let's get Brandon in here during a moment during the podcast here, and get him in here to say hey, and it worked out. This has worked out great, and
Everett was going to play another sound clip. You had another clip you were going to play.
I did.
Wasn't there?
I did. What sound do I have, David? I have a lot of sounds on my thing.
that one after the Amen. You had another one that you added just recently.
David,
the Wolf Howl. Are we going Wolf Howl? Did I give it away?
David, I threw this one together. David, this is all I got to say about that. I don't know what you're talking about, because
low down, dirty, filthy liar. Amen.
Oh man, I don't even know when I said that, but it was certainly me.
I added the amen part on at the end of it, because I feel like it needed something there.
Fair enough. Where'd you pull that clip from? Low down.
I pulled that from when you were doing I have it right here. Cash Flow and Josh Ashcraft on the Good Word.
On the Good Word.
Yeah.
Okay, I remember that. I gave him an L. I handed him an L, if I remember correctly, on that one.
Yep.
I have a lot of fun, boys. If y'all didn't know, if you've watched enough of The Good Word, I have a blast. I have no idea what's going to come out of my mouth, but it usually comes out pretty good.
Yeah.
No, and Everett and I were cracking up, and we were just like going back and looking at like Blues Brothers, right, Everett? We were just looking at some footage.
Yeah, Blues Brothers, because basically it's with you coming on the podcast tonight, this is how I feel.
Jesus H. Goddamn Christ! I have seen the light!
Of course, you see the shirt I'm wearing right there.
I saw the shirt. I know the shirt already.
Yep. Did we lose Brandon?
Brandon Wolf, hey, listen, he was inspired. It was too much.
He turned off the light.
He did. Brandon, you still there? I guess.
Or did his phone die?
No, I hope not, man. I hope not.
His old lady put a stop to that. It's like, who are you talking to? They're Ronnie Roberts. Man, get off of that. Not that guy.
Just remove him.
There he is.
There he is.
He's
coming.
Wait.
Oh,
no. That's all right. Listen, I'm serious about Brandon Wolf. Brandon Wolf, talented, super talented young man, super nice young man. I will do everything in my power to help Brandon Wolf
there he is.
get to the next level. There he is.
Yes.
Brandon, that power again? That power again?
No, I was trying to think because I could hear a lot of stuff. I heard just dots. So I was trying to, throughout Ronnie's story, everybody, I was trying to connect the dots. I was like, all right, he's talking about when I got my mouth kicked. I was trying to hear something over here. So I was trying to fix that way to go around, but I'm very excited. I was gonna smile. It's like yeah, probably I can hear dots, but try to connect them. my favorite match part about Ronnie is that good old hand of his.
Yes.
He made me do a backflip, just palming me with it.
Wow.
He did. Yeah, that was excellent. I forgot about that. You did. That was excellent.
That's amazing.
Power's there now, and so, hey, it's powerful. It's something you don't want to be hit with. That's for sure.
Yeah, I definitely don't. I definitely wouldn't want to get hit with that finish there. It's a great finish, and it's who you are and what you do in the ring with how you work in the ring, all the way to your moves, to your footing, and everything about you there, Reverend. And when I seen it watching that match there, I was like, yes. I was like, this is perfect. I love this, man. This makes the character, this makes everything Ronnie Roberts, everything just more perfect there with the finisher. Because I said to myself, what kind of finisher does he have? And then when I seen that, I was like, this is perfect. This is great. I can't wait to get him on the podcast and talk with him. And
that's funny. The palm strike used to be just the setup to my finish, actually, but I thought better of it and thought I'd switch it around. So
yeah, definitely. And one of the reasons why I'm having Brandon come on here tonight, and he wanted to say hey to you, and I told him, I was like, yeah, just come on, jump in here. And another reason why Brandon's coming on here is it's about next week.
Yes, indeed. Brandon, I'll let you talk about it, Brandon. You go right ahead. Tell us about next week.
Right there.
Well, next week I will be the guest here on the podcast, and I am excited for it. I cannot wait for the conversations that we're going to have, because even though I think we went almost 2 hours on a Deathmatch podcast, I think I have 12 more hours of conversations in me to make something worthwhile. And I can't wait to talk about anything. Like, if anyone has any questions, you can ask me, and I can bring them on the show. You can ask Everett. You can ask even on the show live.
Everett, did we not mention to the comics, to the Reverend?
Comics. Oh, comics.
Back. Yes.
Yes. Well, brief. I'm a fan of graphic novels, and I've been reading through some graphic novels. I just finished X-Men: No More Humans, which was a great story. I finished before that Hawkeye.
Is that Scarlet, when Scarlet Witch said no more, she had enough?
Well,
is that the one?
I thought it was that one, but it was actually, it had to deal with Mystique's and Wolverine's love child, as I call him, Raz. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Raz did what Magneto couldn't do. And Magneto was kind of, you could tell he kind of like, yeah, you did what I couldn't do, but he considered it, he was genocide. That's what he considered it, you know, that he got rid of the humans. And the whole thing through the story is how the X-Men trying to bring the humans back. Like the brother, yeah. And it's just the interaction with Magneto and Raz loves his mother, but he hates his dad, Wolverine, which is just like, wow. But I don't want to spoil too much on it because it's really good, and how everything falls into place is just great. But the other story I just started reading here is Doctor Strange, Way of the Weird here.
Okay.
I'm reading this one so far, and it's the beginning of it. I just started it, and I'm like, wow, this is great because it has Scarlet Witch in it, and it has some other people from the MCU, from the Doctor Strange. Because someone said if you read this here, this will kind of give you an idea of what the Multiverse of Madness will be like, which comes out.
Gotcha.
Yeah, which one of the movies I'm really looking forward to, because Sam Raimi, big fan of the Evil Dead, Army of Darkness, and of course the Tobey Maguire Spider-Mans. He did the first two. The third one, different story.
Yeah, you know what? They lost me when Eric Foreman became Venom. That they lost me on that one.
Yeah.
And I'm a comic guy. Spider-Man was my favorite comic growing up.
We were talking. Yeah, see, this is where we were. Yeah, this is where we're catching.
Yeah, see, you feel me, Brandon? Yeah, when all I saw was Eric Foreman. I was just waiting for Red to come out, and he was supposed to be Venom, and there was a disconnect for me. You know.
Yeah.
I always prefer that you get like lesser known actors to play some of these big comic names, because you know, I just can't. Some of these guys I just can't see as this comic book character. You have too big a name, and you know, I see if you cast Tom Cruise as somebody, all I'm going to see is Tom Cruise. I'm not going to be able to see Green Lantern or whatever.
Right.
But yeah, that's my comic movie rant. Sorry.
That's cool. That's cool. Yeah, it's like Tom Hardy.
Everett, can I just plug my stuff and get out of here? How's that?
Well, we're gonna wrap it up here. You brought up the question, David.
I know.
He did.
You brought it up, man.
Like, well, gotta go, boys.
I'm out of here. It's your show. It's your show.
Yeah, it's my show, but you brought up the question. I was about to take it home, but you're like, oh, yeah, the comics, man. David, the comic. Or different, the comics.
Because me and Ronnie did say something about comics. We were
yes.
comics.
I got to rib you there, David. I do. That's why I love
me now. Okay.
Yeah.
You got me.
I got you. But, yeah, pretty much, Brandon, it's going to be on the Everett Lee Show next week, on March 1st, next Tuesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific, right here on Podbean Live. So check out the link in the post when it comes out on Everett Lee's Facebook, Everett Lee Show, and Twitter at the Everett_Lee. So look forward to that next week here on Podbean Live. But
yes, indeed. You need to check out Brandon Wolf.
Yes.
Future. Matter of fact, I would say the present. He's the present. He's doing his thing. I'm super proud of him. Super happy to have him in my own promotion. And I just can't wait to see where he keeps going.
Definitely.
The sky's the limit for this young man. The sky is the limit.
Yes, it definitely is.
Thank you.
And this is pretty much it, man. Ronnie, anything you want to give a shout out and promote right here at the closing of it? Brandon,
of course,
and then David, and then myself, and then that will be it.
All right. Well, let me start out with one. You can find Reverend Ronnie Roberts on Facebook as Ronnie Roberts or Triple R Superstar, on Twitter at Ronnie Reverend, on Instagram at Ronnie_Roberts1. You can find me every week on OVW Television. Check your local listings or watch us on Fight TV. If you're in the Kentuckiana area and you want to become and learn the ways of a professional wrestler, come see us at Grindhouse Pro Wrestling. You can visit the website, grindhouseprowrestling.com. You can find us on Facebook, Grindhouse Pro Wrestling Academy. You can message me personally if you like. or email us at grindhouseprowrestling@gmail.com. Also, coming up this Sunday, you can come catch all the stars of Grindhouse Pro Wrestling. Brandon Wolf being one of those guys at the Jeffersonville Arena, 1416 Spring Street in Jeffersonville, Indiana. Grindhouse presents the return of Rhino, pro wrestling superstar, former WWE, former ECW, former TNA, Impact, all world travel superstar Rhino will be in attendance. He will be wrestling, and he'll also be holding a seminar from 11:30 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. beforehand. I think that's about everything. That's about all I got.
Just don't get gored. Don't get gored.
Oh, it's not gonna be me. That's for sure.
No,
I ain't.
no.
I don't put my underwear on and wrestle at Grindhouse.
Or Brandon.
Brandon,
no,
listen, that's up to Brandon. If I was him, I'd stay out the way.
I'll let Big D take care of it.
And there you go. Big D Daniel Luck will be taking on Rhino. Big D's a pretty big boy, so I think it's probably a good pick to get in there and face off with Rhino. Other than that, man, you can catch Ronnie Roberts everywhere. I've been working out again. Decided to get back on the road, take a few more bookings. I've spent a lot of time trying to pump guys up like Brandon, his tag partner Cash Jackson, and all those guys and promote them. But I think I'm starting to get that. It's just about time for me to get back out there and do a little something as well. So just look for Reverend Ronnie Roberts on your nearest flyer, on your nearest television show. And I'm sure I'll be ripping somebody apart on the microphone or breaking somebody down in the ring.
Or right here on the podcast anytime. You're more than welcome to.
Listen, that's up to you all. Just hit me up.
Yes.
I really enjoyed it. I want to thank you, David, for setting it up. Thank you, Everett, for having me on.
You're welcome.
And thank
Brandon,
you for having.
Thank you.
Thank you all for having a lot of my young guys on. Brandon Wolf is not really a guy that I trained from the beginning, but he's still one of my guys in my heart. I've been around him almost his whole career, and anything I can do to help these guys get better and grow, that's my passion.
They're more welcome to come on anytime. You know that, like
yes,
we said.
Yes. Welcome to come back on the Everett Lee Show anytime, man. Anytime.
Oh, sure. We might actually, talk more about wrestling. We talked about a lot of stuff. I guess we talked about wrestling, but, I was anticipating you talking about the matches, and we talked about the matches for like 10 minutes, and we've been going for almost 2 hours.
I know, man.
That's a good sign, though.
Yes.
I mean, it's a good sign.
Good conversation.
We could do a series with me and you and Ron and Brandon here. I like that. We could mix something up a little.
Well, I'll start preaching at the drop of a hat, so it don't take much to get me going.
This has been great.
I'm down.
Without a doubt. Okay. Brandon said without a doubt. What do you got going on, or do you want to plug anything you want to plug here, Brandon?
Well, for the show next Tuesday, right here. The only thing I'm going to plug is Grindhouse Pro Wrestling. The only third thing I got going on this weekend is I will be in Eddyville, Kentucky, for a place NAWE. But other than that, it's going to be a good, relaxing time. I think it'll be good.
Nice.
Someone's running in Eddyville?
Yeah, there's a place. Yeah, there's a place. Let me do it real quick here. All right. It's a place in it's Eddyville,
school
Kentucky.
Like me, I got to write it down too.
Yeah. It's in Eddyville, Kentucky. It's called NAWE. I'm involved in a 6-man tag team match for the other side. They have a mystery opponent. If you're around the Eddyville area or if you're close by, feel free to come down, watch some old school wrestling, and just like Ryan says, camera's not on, but that means you still can have fun.
Maybe a Reverend will have to make a visit
this weekend. Probably not. I imagine that I've got my hands full, like Everett was talking about, with starting the hard cam, the Roman cam, doing all that. That's what I do. I am the production team. I am the booker. I am the everything, matchmaker, everything.
You are the everything
at Grindhouse. So that's what I'll be doing Saturday.
Yeah.
Cool. Not only that, but in Grindhouse we have the tag teams. All the tag teams we come together for tag team titles.
Tag team tournament coming up starting in March. We get a little preview coming up here in February. A lot of the teams will be announced this Sunday, and we'll see where the team of Cash Jackson and Brandon Wolf end up. See what they end up doing. I'm really looking forward to seeing what they have in store. I've not seen them tag together yet. I don't know if y'all been practicing y'all's tag team stuff. But I am super excited to see you all as a team. Watching you all wrestle each other was, oh man, I mean, I'm the one who's putting it together, and I put y'all in there for months at a time. Go 10 minutes, go 15, go 20. All right, you got a half hour. Last in January, Rumble, they had a half an hour, and still couldn't settle who was better. So
Wow.
what better way, to show respect? And they saw those tag team gold, and they decided they're gonna join forces and see if they can't win that gold. And hey, who knows? I'm kind of rooting for you.
Dustin in the chat there on Podbeam says he's excited to see what happens with those two. He's excited too.
Everybody's excited.
Everyone is, man.
You'll have to, man. It's when those tag guys are wrestling each other, it's magic. I can only imagine it's going to be just as magical when they're wrestling with each other instead of against.
Yes,
definitely. We'll need the new era to show what we can do. We need a new era.
And the new era is going to be tough. But hey, we'll see who's tougher. I'm partial. I'm neutral. I get to sit back and watch and enjoy it all when I'm not running around trying to do everything backstage anyway. But
nice. Nice. David.
Yes.
What do you want?
What do I have?
What do you have, David? What do you got?
I got David? A podcast. I have a podcast tomorrow night with female pro wrestler Angel Orsini. Will be on my podcast as she has an upcoming match March 12th against Debbie Kane for the Titan Kids Championship, Women's Championship title is on the line as Titan presents Time to Party.
Nice.
Titan Kids presents Time to Party.
Nice.
I like how you went into your zone and closed your eyes to remember all that.
Thank you.
He's like, oh, yeah. You were proud of yourself when you open your eyes.
I gotta get it just right. You know what?
Yes. Yes, my impersonation is not that great, but
no, I know. All right. Save that for the next time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hey, we can have an impersonation off now. I got a couple under my belt.
All right.
I'll do this once. I said because people say I sound like a AJ Styles trying to sound like Stone Cold Steve Austin.
I'll do my two favorite ones too, and yeah. All right, go ahead.
David C. Russell, Deathmatch Russell Podcast. I'll tell you what now, son. Deathmatch Russell Podcast. What had the Reverend Ronnie Roberts on, and you better listen to the podcast, son, because if not, I'm going to take you out back and stump a mud hole on you, and I'm going to walk it dry. And that's the bottom line.
Everett Lee right there. Hold up, Mr. Stone Cold.
What?
I'm going to drop the elbow, yeah. But if you want to get on a technical side, I can go back to my home. Bobby, I'm not crazy. Baby.
You know what? It's funny because I did hear AJ Styles doing a Stone Cold impersonation.
Yeah, see, I told you.
A perfect description of that, by the way.
I told you. I should just do AJ Styles then. I should.
Because I like pain.
I should get him down. That'd be great if I get it down as AJ Styles. And then start calling people saying this is AJ Styles. He'll come after me.
Exactly.
Those are my two favorite ones.
Not a bad Foley though. It's not a bad.
Thank you.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty good. But
what is your favorite one? Okay, now you got us.
I'm not doing. I'm waiting. This is for the next episode, brother. We only got a couple minutes left.
Yeah.
Listen, I know episodic television, and you must come back.
Yes.
To see the impression off. On the next time the good Reverend is on the Everett Lee Show.
That's right. That's right. You can check out more of the Everett Lee Show audio podcast over on podbeam.com, everettleeshow.podbeam.com. You can check out previous podcast on there, even the live ones right here on Podbeam live stream. You can also check out the audio portion of the podcast over on Stitcher Radio, iTunes, Amazon Music, iHeart, and Google Play. And you can check out the video content of Everett Lee Show over on YouTube, Everett Lee, Facebook, Everett Lee Show, Twitter at the Everett _Lee, and Instagram, Everett Lee, and Podcast City Network. your top source for independent podcasting. Be creative, be yourself. Head over to podcastseed.net. You can check out shows such as The Everett Lee Show, Deathmatch Wrestle Podcast, Final Score, Verbal Shenanigans, The Imaginarium with Scott and Todd, Horror Pop After Midnight, and much, much more over on podcastcity.net. Follow them on Facebook, Podcast City Network, and Twitter at podcastcitynet. And that is it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, everyone, for coming on the podcast tonight. I appreciate it. And
thank you.
I
only have one final request from you all and everybody who's watching. Can I get a yay, man?
All right, everyone, let's do it. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Amen.
Amen.
And I'll be passing the collection plate. Oh, I forgot my Cash App is $R Superstar as well. If y'all want to pass it electronically, baby. I'm even modern age.
Dustin even said amen in the chat. Thank you. Everyone have a good night.
Man at the door.
And we'll see you again next time for another episode of the Everett Lee Show.